Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick tips and tricks video in Apex Legends that a lot of things that people probably don't tell you about that are going to help you in your gameplay. Things that I've found very helpful recently that just don't get talked about as much. So first off, I'm going to talk about ammo micromanaging. I think for your primary, like a full auto gun, you should carry about 4 to 5 stacks. So that should be about 300 ammo or 240 ammo, and I think that's going to be the best use of your inventory. You have just enough to survive a good fight or two without running out, and you don't have too much ammo to be overkill. Anything over 300 is pretty much going to be overkill. Your secondary only needs 1 to 2 stacks. I think for shotguns, you really only need 1 stack, maybe 2 stacks for the EVA. The wingman, you only need 1 stack. For snipers, something like a Hemlock or a G7, you should probably carry 2 stacks. So I'd recommend doing like 240 and 2 stacks of your secondary, or 300 and 1 stack of your secondary, or 240 and 1 stack of your secondary, depending on what backpack you have. That's the general ammo count that you should be running. I mean, unless you're going to be in like a really long fight for like end game where you're poking a bunch of people, then you might need more ammo. But pretty much universally, you're going to only need like 240 and 1 or 2 stacks of your secondary. One thing that's really good, I'm going to call micro strafing. That can really help you help you with kind of recoil control and center your aim a little better, as well as throw your opponent off while you're shooting. It's just strafing back and forth quickly like this. You want to get used in the habit of strafing back and forth. It throws off your enemy, makes you harder to hit while you're shooting. As well, it also kind of makes your bullets bounce left and right, which I have found helps me kind of straighten out my bullets a little bit more. If you stand still and shoot, the bullets just go straight through my barrel like in a straight line. If I strafe back and forth, they kind of go left, right, and it kind of centers them out too. It also will help me shoot them if they are strafing as well. So I've got bullets going to the side, and I'm not just like shooting a straight line, in one direction. Kind of making my bullets cover a little bit more area in a sense, but also like straighten out. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's really helping out. Get used to this. It helps you just get in the habit of strafing, even when you're just shooting a straight line. Just get used to what I'm going to call micro strafing, going back and forth. It's really going to help you out in a fight, and this micro strafing can just help you out center your shots a little bit. A pro that does stuff like this is Complexity Monsoon. He actually does a little bit of strafe like this when he shoots, and he's one of the best players at Apex Legends. So take it. There's a good example for you. When you're reloading your gun, if you can, this is one of the harder things to manage in the game. But if you can, try to get in the habit of reloading your gun while you still have about 1 or 2 bullets. Unless those 1 or 2 bullets are gonna kill your enemy, it's gonna save you a lot of time in reloading. So I'll show you full clip. So I reload my gun, then I have to cock it back. That cock back takes about, a second or two that you just lose in a fight if the other person reloads quickly. So say here, I do more damage, I just reload real quick, I get back in the fight a lot quicker. See how, look how quickly this reload is. Get that back in. Reload, I'm back in the fight. While otherwise it's going to take that cock back animation, which is just going to take, see, it's about 3 seconds. There's 1, 2, and I'm back in. While a full quick reload takes about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. It takes about double the time. So yeah, if you can get used to it, try to reload and dial it out. I'd say once you get to single-digit numbers, unless those few extra bullets are gonna kill the enemy, like this here. Oh, he's not gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna reload real quickly. Get back in the fight, kill him. That's gonna help you out. So reload with 1 bullet. Do not practice with fully purple and gold guns when you are in firing range. Also, I would recommend practicing with sights like this 1x hollow or the 1 to 2x variable. These early game sights that you pretty much don't want to keep for the rest of the game, but you're going to get on with it. And also just practice with your iron sights, because that's going to help you out early game. As soon as you drop off, you're pretty much going to get a naked gun, or something to say. I'm going to call it a naked gun. So when you're practicing in firing range, the only attachments I recommend are putting on a hop-up, whatever hop-up you're trying to practice or whatever. Like for here, I'm doing a double tap EVA, because I like this. I like double tap EVA for the very, very beginning of the game. It can do a lot of damage. I think you should put on a purple mag so you can get used to the recoil of full clip of the gun. And then other than that, I would do white and blue attachments at best. Get used to practicing with pretty much a naked gun. It's going to help you out early game. Last part I'm going to get into is settings. A couple settings that are going to help you out. Number 1 is field of view. This one's talked about, but I just want to talk about it again. Like, the game starts you on 70, you can really only pay attention to the one person in front of you, and there's so much things around you cannot see. If you turn it up to at least 90, see here, I can pretty much I don't have to look super far to get this view on this other person who's all the way over here. If you turn it up all the way, I should be able to see, yeah, see, I can see all 3 people on the screen. You get a lot more awareness. It's really going to help you out. Also, just turn the sprint view shake to minimal. It just makes the screen shake less, and you're a lot less distracting. Other settings that you should do that are going to be distracting that you can take off: crosshair damage feedback. When you hit somebody, there's a big X popping on the screen. You don't need that to be there. You can register the hit with the number that pops up. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot less distracting. Also, with numbers, I recommend you put on stacking. Stacking just does the quick math for you. It's easier for you to communicate to your teammate and to yourself how much damage you did. For example, I just did 170 there. It counted it out for me. I didn't have to do any counting in my head. And when you have the floating numbers on, it's just more things for you to look at that aren't your opponent. They get distracting. They don't need to be there. Both the reticle and the stacking numbers are just things to look at that aren't your opponent that distract you. So you don't need them on there. I recommend turning these settings off. Crosshair off, and damage numbers to stacking. Do not turn damage numbers off. You are insane if you do this. You are insane if you do that. Last but not least, this is not the most crucial setting, but I recommend trying colorblind with Tritanopia. See how my reticle here is red. If you turn the colorblind setting to Tritanopia, you get this yellow reticle, which I find is very, very helpful for tracking my reticle centered on somebody's body. It's helping me a lot with headshots and using the wingman, stuff like that. All this thing ever does is change. All this setting does is change your reticle to yellow and your pings to yellow instead of whatever they are. Yeah. So that's something I recommend you at least try out. That's more preference, but it's just kind of a hidden detail that's all the other colors in the game are still normal. The only thing that changes is the yellow reticle and the yellow pings, which doesn't do any. The yellow pings doesn't change anything up really. So those are a couple quick tips that I think nobody probably has told you about. That'll help you get better at Apex Legends. So I will see you guys in the game. If you get jumped on by a Horizon that's just super good, that's probably me. See you later.